I never thought I'd stare down my own daughter across a dinner table, my ribs screaming like shattered glass under my skin, and hear her accuse me of being the monster who'd ruined her life. But there she was, Lily, my fierce 22-year-old firebrand, slamming her fork down on the porcelain plate in that overpriced Manhattan bistro, her eyes blazing with a hatred I'd only seen aimed at the world before. And the kicker? She was right, except she was dead wrong about who was sitting in her mother's skin. It started 6 months ago, back when life was just another grind in the machine of corporate America. I was Delilah Kane, 45 and fraying at the edges, a mid-level accountant at Hale Dynamics, one of those gleaming tech conglomerates in Midtown that promised the American dream but delivered soul-crushing spreadsheets and glass ceilings thick as bulletproof vests. I'd clawed my way up from a trailer park in Jersey, single mom to Lily after her deadbeat dad bailed when she was 2. We weren't rich, but we had our rhythm, me burning the midnight oil for bonuses that barely covered her NYU tuition, her crashing on my ratty couch in our Astoria walk-up, dreaming of Broadway while slinging lattes at a hipster cafe. Victor Hale, the CEO, was the kind of guy who made you believe in silver spoons and devil's bargains. Mid-50s, silver fox handsome with a jawline that could cut deals and throats alike. He ran Hale Dynamics like a personal fiefdom. Drones, AI surveillance, cutting-edge shit that kept Uncle Sam happy and his stock price soaring. But beneath the TED Talk polish, Victor was a snake oil salesman with a god complex. I'd known him for a decade, started as his assistant, rose to handling his off-books ledgers. The ones where numbers didn't add up, where consulting fees vanished into Cayman accounts. I turned a blind eye because the paychecks kept Lily in dance classes and me from eviction notices. Loyalty, they call it. Stupidity, hindsight whispers. The betrayal hit like a freight train on a foggy Jersey turnpike night. It was late October, leaves turning bloody red outside my office window, when Victor called me into his corner suite. Floor-to-ceiling views of the Empire State, leather chairs that swallowed you whole. He poured me a scotch neat, the way he knew I liked it after those marathon audits, and slid a folder across the desk. Delilah, he said, voice like velvet over razor wire. You're my rock. But we've got a storm coming. SEC's sniffing around. I need you to adjust a few entries. Adjust. That's code for cook the books. Bury the multi-million-dollar embezzlement he'd funneled to his mistress's offshore startup. I'd done small stuff before, fudging expense reports, backdating invoices, but this was felony territory. The kind that lands you in federal orange with a cellmate named Big Bertha. My gut twisted. Victor, this is big. If it blows up, it won't. He leaned in, cologne sharp as his smile. Because you're taking the heat if it does. Hero's exit for you, golden parachute, references that open doors. Lily's future secured. He knew my weak spot. Lily's audition for that off-Broadway show was weeks away, one bad break, and her dreams crumbled like stale bagels. I signed off. What choice did I have? The working-class grind doesn't forgive hesitation. By dawn, the trail led straight to me. Forged emails, timestamps I'd approved. Victor played the shocked whistleblower, calling in the feds himself. Raid at 6 a.m. SWAT kicking in my door while Lily screamed from her bedroom. Handcuffs bit into my wrists. Neighbors gawking from fire escapes. Mom? What the hell? Lily's voice cracked like thunder. Jail was a special hell, Rikers, where time stretches like taffy and hope curdles. Plea deal, 5 years. If I flipped on accomplices who didn't exist. Victor visited once. Through plexiglass. Smirking like he'd won the lottery. Tough break. Delilah. But hey, think of it as paid vacation. His eyes gleamed with something feral. Unspoken. That's when he dropped the bomb. Ever wonder what it'd be like to walk in my shoes? See the world from the top. I thought he was taunting. Turns out, he had the tech. Hail Dynamics' dirty secret. Buried in R&D black budgets. Neural transference. Body swapping. Straight out of sci-fi wet dreams. Tested on lab rats and desperate volunteers. Victor, paranoid about his empire crumbling, had perfected it. A quick zap under anesthesia. Souls, or whatever you call consciousness, flipped like pancakes. No scars. No traces. Just you, trapped in someone else's meat suit. Memories intact but body foreign. They did it during transfer to a low SEC facility upstate. I woke up gasping. Not in my cot, but in a king-sized bed in a Tribeca loft. Sheets silk against skin that wasn't mine. Broad shoulders. Manicured hands. Victor's hands. Mirror confirmed it. His face staring back. Salt and pepper hair. That smug cleft chin. My old body, me, was across town, lawyered up, walking free as Victor Hale. Panic clawed my throat. I stumbled to the bathroom, ribs aching from some recent incident. Turns out, Victor had gotten jumped in a bar brawl over poker debts. 3 cracked ribs he hid from the board. Every breath was fire. Phone buzzed. Board meeting in an hour. I had his life now, his power, his enemies, his alibis. And buried in his encrypted drive, proof of everything. The embezzlement. The swaps on whistleblowers vanished into accidents, even dirt on politicians who'd greased his palms. Revenge crystallized like ice in my veins. Not just for me, for every drone operator's widow he'd stiffed on pensions, every intern he'd burned out. But first, Lily. She thought I was the crook, the mom who'd sold out for a quick buck. I had to play Victor. Buy time. Unravel his web without tipping my hand. That dinner was the hook in my gut. 2 weeks in, ribs still throbbing like a bad hangover. I, Victor, invited Delilah, the real Victor puppeteering my body, to neutral ground, Le Bernardin. French fusion spot where Wall Street seals betrayals over foie gras. Neutral? Bullshit. It was his turf. A flex. But I needed to see my own face. Gauge how deep he'd wormed into her, my life. Lily showed up uninvited, bursting through the velvet curtains like a storm off the Atlantic. She was all fire and thrift store chic. Ripped jeans. Doc Martens scuffed from protests. Hair dyed electric blue since I'd last seen it. Mom, she hissed, ignoring the maitre d's flutter. Sliding into the booth, beside the imposter me. Her eyes flicked to Victor me. Narrowed. And you? The kingpin who framed her. Victor in my body played it cool. That fake Delilah warmth I'd perfected over coffee clutches. Lily. Honey. This isn't. Save it. She turned to me. Victor's shell. And that's when the stun hit. I know what you did. Hacked your emails. Asshole. The payoffs. The swaps, yeah. I said it. Neural bullshit. You think you're untouchable? Mom's rotting because of you. My fork froze midair. Escargot forgotten. Cracked ribs be damned. I leaned forward. Voice gravel from disuse. Lily. How? She laughed. Bitter as black coffee. Because I'm not as dumb as you think. Tracked the anomalies, bodies switching post-arrests. And Mom? She left me a thumb drive before they took her. Contingency plan.
Her words gutted me.
I'd stashed the drive in our apartment safe. Backups of Victor's dirt. Just in case. Lily, my street-smart kid, had cracked it. The imposter Delilah, Victor, went pale under my freckles. This is insane. Security. But Lily wasn't done. She slapped a USB on the table. Tiny black grenade. Upload this to the cloud. And your empire's toast. Or I go public, X.
TikTok.
Every podcaster from Rogan to that true crime chick. Controversy dripped from her. Daughter outing a body-snatching tycoon. Forcing a choice between family and fallout. Diners whispered. Phones slyly angling. In America, scandals are sport. This one would be Super Bowl. Victor, had seconds. Ribs screaming. I snatched the drive. Palmed it. We'll talk. Privately. Voice steady. But inside, hurricane. Lily had just handed me the keys to the kingdom, thinking I was the villain. Twist 1. She was my secret weapon. We bailed. Lily storming out. Victor and me sputtering excuses to the manager about family drama. Outside. Rain slicked the sidewalks. Yellow cabs honking like geese. I hailed one. Ribs protesting every jolt. And headed to the loft. Time to dig deeper. Victor's life was a gilded cage. Penthouse with skyline views that mocked the little people below. Gym I couldn't use without wincing. A Rolodex of sycophants and a mistress, Elena. Russian import with legs for days and loyalty bought by Birkin bags. She showed up that night, all perfume and suspicion. You look
off, Vic.
The ribs, nothing a pill won't fix. I waved her off, but she lingered, tracing his chest. Intimacy in this body felt like violation. Every touch a reminder of the theft. I faked it, mind racing. Elena was leverage. Victor's emails showed he'd swapped her predecessor out after she got too nosy. Poisoned accident. Dark. Tense, America's underbelly. Where power eats its young. By dawn, I'd cracked his safe. Hard drives. Vials of neural serum glowing blue under UV. The swap wasn't magic, it was chemistry. Reversible with the right antidote. But Victor had booby-trapped it, self-destructive tampered. Meticulous bastard. I needed in-house help, Dr. Harlan, the mad scientist who'd built it,
Holed up in a Jersey lab.
Getting there meant navigating Victor's world. Board meeting that morning, sharks in suits circling over Q4 projections. I sat at the head, his throne, ribs taped under Armani, projecting that hale charisma. Gentlemen, ladies, the drones are revolutionizing border security. Profits up 40%. Lies. All propped on my Delilah's fraud. One exec, grizzled vet named Hargrove, eyed me funny. Vic, you okay? Look like you saw a ghost. Jet lag. I bullshitted. Signing off on a deal that funneled cash to Victor's escape fund. Controversial? Hell yes, arming private militias with AI that profiled by skin tone. But it bought silence. Kept the machine humming while I plotted. Harlan's lab was a concrete bunker off the turnpike. Chain link and floodlights screaming, trespassers will be neuralized. I flashed Victor's badge. Ribs throbbing from the drive. He was a wiry ghost. 50s gone to seed. Lab coat stained with regret. Mr.
Hail. The.
Procedure on Kane. Stable. Cut the crap.
Harlan.
I want out. His eyes bugged. First crack in the facade. You? But the ethics waiver. Ethics. I laughed. Victor's baritone booming. You sold your soul for this tech. Now reverse it. Or I bury you with the whistleblowers. He caved. Of course. Power's the great equalizer. Over lukewarm coffee in a break room smelling of microwaved ramen. He spilled. The swap was meant for immortality. Hale's vanity project. Hopping bodies like hotel rooms. But Victor twisted it for control. Framing rivals. Erasing debts. My crime? I'd uncovered a test subject. A union rep suicided post-swap. That's why he targeted me. Silenced the loose end who'd taken his fall without knowing. Antidote schematics in hand. I drove back. Mind a whirlwind. Revenge Phase 1. Expose the fraud. But Lily's USB? Goldmine, hacked SEC filings. Swap logs time-stamped 2 accidents. I uploaded anonymously to WikiLeaks' dark pool. Then hit X with burner accounts. Hale swap scandal trending by lunch. Memes of Victor as soul-sucking Pinocchio. Victor me panicked. I could feel it in the text blowing up his phone. We need to meet. Now. Trap. Obviously. He chose neutral, Central Park. Under the Bethesda fountain. Tourists milling like oblivious extras. Dusk fell purple. Leaves crunching under Italian loafers. Their eye was cracked ribs bandaged tight, facing my own face across the angel statue. Delilah, he sneered in my voice. Or should I say, imposter? Harlan squealed.
Guilty.
I stepped closer. Heart pounding. You stole my life. Victor. My daughter thinks I'm the thief. He chuckled. My laugh twisted ugly. She always was a disappointment.
Too mouthy.
Like her mother. Betrayal's knife twisted deeper. That secret he'd buried. Lily wasn't mine by blood. Victor's. One drunken merger party. Years back. He'd paid me off. Gaslit me into thinking it was a fever dream. DNA test in his files confirmed it. I'd raised his kid. Shielded his sins. And he repaid with bars. Rage boiled. Dark and viscous. Controversial decision loomed. End him here? In my body. Damn the consequences? Park's shadows hit a bench. Syringe of overdose serum palmed from Harlan's stash. Undetectable.
Like his swaps.
Tense air crackled. Joggers blurring past. You think you're winning? He lunged. My old reflexes slow in his frame. Fists flew, his on me. Mine glancing off. Ribs exploded in agony. But I pinned him. Syringe glinting. For Lily. For every ghost you made. Twist of fate, sirens wailed. Feds. Tipped by my leak. He smirked through swollen lips. Checkmate. Delilah. The reversal? It kills the host. Liar or truth? Harlan's notes hadn't said. As cuffs snapped on us both, ironic symmetry, I jabbed the needle home. Not into him, into myself. Victor's body slumped. My consciousness flickering back. Woke in my own skin. Hospital bed beeping. Lily at my side. Mom, tears streaked her face. The news. It's everywhere. Hale's done. I squeezed her hand. Ribs, mine now miraculously whole. But the twist reversed everything. Victor's dying words echoed. The swap's permanence? A lie to break me. Harlan confessed later. Reversible clean. Victor? Dead by his own venom. Body, mine. autopsied as suicide. Was it justice? Lily hailed me hero. But whispers lingered. Did I murder in cold blood? Forum threads debated. Vigilante mom or vengeful killer? America loves its antiheroes, but hates the mirror. I got probation, book deals, TED invites. Lily's show? Sold out. Yet nights, I stare at the ceiling, wondering if the monster wore my face all along. Or his. Freedom tasted like stale hospital jello and the metallic tang of regret. Discharged after 3 days of psych evals and fawning press, CNN calling me, the woman who stole back her soul, I stepped into a world remade in my image. Hail dynamics imploded. Stock plummeted 80%. Boards scattered like roaches under fluorescent lights. Victor's body, autopsied and buried in a pauper's plot-up state, sparked lawsuits from bereaved mistresses and shady investors. Elena vanished to Monaco. Last seen on TMZ with a suitcase of laundered cash. But me? Delilah Kane, the nobody who'd toppled a titan. Lily drove me home to our Astoria walk-up, now a shrine to chaos. Reporters camped on the stoop. Pizza boxes from well-wishers piling like modern art.
Mom.
You need to lawyer up, she said, weaving through traffic, her blue hair whipping in the AC breeze. The DA sniffing around the syringe thing. Self-defense, I muttered, but doubt gnawed. That park scuffle? Blurry in memory. Adrenaline-fueled. Had I injected Victor or hallucinated the choice? Harlan's testimony backed me. Accidental exposure during struggle, but juries love drama. America thrives on it. Podcasts dissecting my confession. That leaked 911 call where I babbled about souls. Reddit threads voting if I was avenging angel or calculating killer.
Home was sanctuary.
Briefly. Lily cooked pasta primavera. Her apology for doubting me. We ate on the fire escape. City hummed below like a lullaby. I should have trusted you sooner, she said, twirling linguine.
That drive.
I found the DNA file too. Dad, Victor, was a sperm donor with a vendetta. Bitterness soured the garlic. I'd loved her fiercely, blood or not. But the secret festered. Victor's notes detailed grooming her for the company. Internships I'd blocked thinking they were nepotism favors. He'd planned to swap into her youth one day. Discard us both like expired yogurt. Sleep evaded. Nightmares of mirrored faces merging. Woke sweating. Lily's old dance recital photo on the nightstand. Her at 10. Tutu askew. Grinning toothless. Vow renewed. Protect her. Dismantle the remnants. First target, the board. Victor's cronies. Fat cats who'd signed off on the fraud. I started small. Anonymous tips to the Journal. Hargrove's insider trading. The CFO's affair with a lobbyist. By week's end, headline screamed, Hale scandal widens. Controversial? Leaking private texts, nude selfies amid merger talks. Felt like justice porn. But ethicists clucked about privacy. Vigilantism in the digital age. Op-eds thundered. I didn't care. Each downfall chipped at the empire that crushed me. Harlan became unlikely ally. Paroled to house arrest in his Jersey bunker. He reached out via encrypted signal. Kane, Delilah. The serum. There's more. Met him at a dingy diner off I-95. Truckers nursing Joe. Air thick with grease. He slid a vial across the Formica, antidote prototype. Blue as regret. Victor's stash had backups. But side effects. Memory bleed. Echoes of the other. I pocketed it. Heart stuttering. Why help? Guilt. He stirred sugar into black coffee. Hands trembling. First swap was voluntary, terminally ill exec into a donor.
Clean.
Then Victor. Twisted it. Erase lives. You're the glitch that crashed the system.
Glitch. Fitting.
Back in the city, I dosed discreetly, half vial in my morning smoothie, bracing for fallout. Echoes came in flashes, Victor's memories bleeding through. Boardroom conquests, a childhood of silver-plated abuse, daddy's railroad air, whipping him with belts for B+. Empathy flickered. Unwanted. Was he monster or monster-made? Dark tension coiled. Revenge's cost. Humanizing the devil. Lily noticed the change.
You're
Distant.
Mom.
We were at her cafe gig. Her steaming oat milk lattes for hipsters and ironic teas. She wiped counters. Eyes searching. The dreams. Worse. Confessed the bleed over closing shift. Rain pattering on awnings. I see his life. The why behind the what. She froze. Steamer hissing. Don't you dare forgive him. He framed you. Took everything. Not everything. Touched her arm. Her skin warm. Real. You. Tears welled. But fire banked them. Then finish it. The lab, burn it. No more swaps. No more ghosts. Her words ignited phase 2, eradication. Victor's black site facilities dotted the Rust Belt, Ohio warehouses masking neural farms. Test subjects in comas. Souls shuffled like cards. I went rogue. No badges. Just a burner laptop and Lily's hacker pals from NYU's Cyber Club. First hit, Buffalo Outpost. Chainlink and humming generators. Slipped in at midnight. Ghost in the machine, Victor's old keycard still hot in my wallet. Inside, rows of pods. Like sci-fi coffins, subjects twitching under 4 drips. Monitors beeped vitals. Faces slack, truck driver in a model's body. Heiress trapped in a vagrance. Horror clawed at my throat. One pod. Empty. Label Kane/D. Hail/Feed. Reversal pending. Our swap chamber. Sabotage was surgical. Overload the grid. Fry the servers. But a guard ex-marine, buzzcut and regret, caught my shadow. Hail, that you. Taser buzzed. World exploded in volts. Woke zip-tied to a chair. Harlan's antidote burning in my pocket. You ain't Hale, the guard growled. Brooklyn accent thick. Eyes wrong.
Softer.
Smarter. I spat. Ribs wait.
No.
Those were gone. But phantom ache lingered. Untie me. We're on the same side. He didn't buy it. Radioed base. But Lily's timing? Godsend. She tailed me, daughter's intuition, crashing through with pepper spray and a tire iron. Mom. Duck. Chaos. Alarms wailing. Pod sparking. We bolted. Facility blooming orange behind us. Fire truck sirens in the night. Adrenaline crash hit in a motel off the thruway. Neon vacancy buzzing like flies. Lily bandaged a gash on my arm, her hands steady from dance calluses. This ends now. No more half measures. Agreed. But the bleed worsened, Victor's voice whispering tactics. Deal-making serpentine. Controversial decision brewed. Use his knowledge against the remnants? Or purge it? Risk losing myself? Next on. We hit the motherlode. Victor's panic room in the Tribeca loft. Now seized by feds but loopholes lingered. bribed a lock tech with leak proceeds, dark money irony, and cracked the vault. Inside, ledgers, serums, a video log. Played it on a dusty laptop. Victor,
Pre-swap.
monologuing to camera. Delilah thinks she's loyal. But loyalty's a leash. When she pulls, I'll cut it. Cut to the swap op. Surgical theater sterile. My sedated form on slab. His glee. Unmasked. This body youth. Fire. Mine now. Then. The secret's gut punch. He dosed Lily years back. Microneural tag. Tracker in her blood. Dormant swap trigger. Insurance, he narrated. If she ever turns, Lily watched. Face ashen. He planned to. Me? Rage unified us. Mother-daughter, vendetta pure. Climax loomed. The gala. Hale's legacy fundraiser. Irony's feast. Black tie at the Met. Donors toasting the fallen king. Victor's ghost would attend in absentia. I crashed as reformed insider. Lily on my arm as +1. Prep was tense. Thrift gowns from Lily's theater closet. Me in pearls that choked. Echo screamed. Victor's memory of betting Elena there last year. Amid Warhol prints. Pushed it down. Focused, vial of destabilizer. Harlan's cocktail to fry any latent serums. Target. The vial in Victor's trophy case. Symbolic heart. Gala glittered, chandeliers dripping light. Champagne flutes clinking like conspiracies. Schmoozers in tuxes. Whispers of the swap widow. Lily clung. Fierce in emerald silk. 10 o'clock.
Mom.
The case. We slipped to the annex. Guards distracted by caviar. Glass shattered soft under my heel, vial secured. But footsteps echoed. Hargrove. The exec. Paunch straining cummerbund.
Kane.
Knew you'd slither back. Confrontation crackled. Air thick as cigar smoke. Slither? That's your boss's game. Flashed the ledger printout. His bribes exposed. He lunged. Meaty hands grabbing. Lily screamed. Shard of glass slashing his palm. Blood welling, first real red since the nightmare began. Security swarmed. But not before I dosed the vial into the punch bowl, destabilizer dispersing. Invisible poison to the elite's veins. Panic bloomed. Donors clutching throats. Not dead but disoriented. Memories glitching. Whispers of who am I?
Chaos.
Beautiful. Hargrove hauled away. Lily and I vanishing into the night. Met steps slick with fleeing heels. High on victory. We cabbed to the bridge. City lights fracturing on water. It's over, she breathed. Not yet. Handed her the antidote.
For you.
The tag, purge it. She hesitated. Controversial weight. Trust the poison that saved us? Injected anyway. Eyes locked. Bleed hit me then. Full force. Victor's endgame flashing. He'd framed me not just for fraud, but to test the swap on bloodkin. Lily was the prize. His heir to hijack. Twist reversed. She convulsed.
Not from tag.
But memory surge. Gasped.
Mom.
I knew. The drive I saw the DNA. Confronted him months ago. He promised shares if I helped. Betrayal's echo. My own daughters? She'd fed him crumbs. Thinking it'd by her silence. Guilt twisted her face. I stopped when they took you. But forgiveness or fracture? America debates family ties. Blood thicker than justice? I held her as tremors faded. City roaring below. We both wore monster skins. Dawn broke hazy. New chapter raw. The reckoning unfolded in fragments, like a puzzle I'd never wanted to solve. Lily's confession hung between us like exhaust fumes on the Queensboro cab idling at a light while she sobbed apologies into my shoulder. I was scared.
Mom.
Additions tanking, loans piling. He offered a lifeline. Thought it was just info.
Not.
This. Her words stung deeper than Riker's concrete. My daughter, tainted by the same greed that chained me. But in that American crucible, where bootstraps fray and dreams demand dirty deals, I saw my reflection, the ledgers I'd fudged, the blind eyes turned. We'd both danced with devils, chasing the shine of success in a city that devours the hesitant. Forgiven, I whispered, paying the driver with crumpled 20s from Victor's slush fund. Back in Astoria, we burned the remnants, vials in the sink, papers in a coffee can pyre on the stove. Smoke alarms wailed like banshees. Lily waving a dish towel, laughing through tears. Catharsis, dark and smoky. But closure? Elusive as a balanced budget. The gala fallout dominoed. Donors sued, claiming psychological assault, their glitchy memories spawning therapy cults and class actions. I testified in D.C. Subcommittee on Emerging Neurothreats, senators grilling me under Klieg lights. MS.
Kane.
Did you intend harm? The chairwoman probed, her pearls clicking like judgment. Intent. I leaned into the mic. Voice steady from boardroom echoes. Victor Hale intended erasure. I intended survival. Applause from activists in the gallery. EFF types decrying corporate mind control, but editorial split. Hero or hubris? Fox called me vigilante mom gone rogue. NPR pondered the ethics of stolen agency. Controversy fueled my inbox. Death threats from Hale loyalists. Fan mail from swap survivors clawing out of woodwork. Lily thrived in the blaze. Her story, daughter duped, then redeemed, landed her a TEDx slot. Bodies as battlegrounds, reclaiming identity in the age of AI. Standing ovation. Scouts buzzing for her one-woman show. Swapped, she titled it, me in the front row. Tears blurring stage lights. Ribs whole but heart scarred. Yet tension simmered. Undercurrents pulling us under. The bleed persisted. Victor's psyche a squatter in my skull. Nightmares evolved, not just his abuses, but futures unlived. Lily as CEO. Me sipping margaritas in Florida retirement. Woke gasping. Questioning, was revenge reclamation or replacement? Had I become him? Wielding power's blade? Climax brewed in Jersey. Harlan summons pulling like gravity. Final protocol. His email read. Coordinates pinned to an abandoned steel mill in Newark. Dusk drive. Hudson's waters oily black. Lily's shotgun. Tire iron between us. If it's a trap, then we swing first. Her grin. Fierce, my girl. Forged in fire. The mill loomed. Rust skeletons against sodium lights. Wind whistling through broken panes like ghosts' complaints. Harlan waited in the shadow of a blast furnace. Duffel at his feet.
Kane.
Lily nodded to her. Awkward. The purge. Full reversal. He unzipped. Machine. Portable rig. Electrodes. Humming capacitors. Serum 4. Neural sync. Erases the echo.
But.
Risks.
Total wipe.
You forget the swap. Or worse, core self. Controversial precipice. Gamble identity for peace? Lily's hand in mine. Clammy. Do it.
Mom.
For us. Strapped in. Cold metal biting skin. Harlan's needle pricking vein. Blue fire coursed. Visions assaulting. Victor's boardroom triumphs. My jail cell despair. Lily's cribside lullabies. Convergence. His regrets bleeding mine. I envied you. Delilah. The real bonds. Powers hollow. Truth reversed. Final twist. Victor hadn't just stolen my body. He'd craved my soul. The swap? Desperation. Not dominance. Notes in the rig confirmed. Terminal diagnosis. Pancreatic shadow. Months left. Framed me to test the tech. Hopscotch to health in my robust frame. Lily's tag? Not control. But legacy. Past the empire bloodlessly. Empathy's poison. Softening edges. As sync peaked, I whispered to the void. Rest. Victor. You're free. Woke to sterile hum. Harlan's bunker. Lily dozing in a vinyl chair. Mom, her voice. Anchor. Here. Touch my face, mine. Untainted. Echoes gone. Slate clean. But memory lingered. Choices scar. Aftermath unfolded bittersweet. Harlan vanished. Witness protection. New name in Seattle rain. Hale's assets liquidated. Proceeds funneled to victims' fund. Scholarships for Lily's ilk. Therapy for the swapped. I wrote the book, Ghostrin. Naturally Stolen Skin. A Mother's Reckoning. Bestseller. Movie rights to Spielberg. Controversy clung. Did I glorify trauma? Forums raged. Feminist icon or Frankenstein's enabler. Ending? Debatable as democracy. Lily's show opened off-Broadway. Sold-out houses weeping at the curtain. Her in spotlight.
Me in shadows.
Applauding. We moved upstate. Victorian fixer-upper with a view of the Catskills. Away from Manhattan's maw. Mornings, coffee on the porch. Her scripting episodes of a Netflix true crime spin-off. Me consulting on ethics panels, irony's wink. Happy? In fragments. No more swaps. No fractured selves. But nights. Wind through pines whispers doubts. Did I avenge? Or merely survive? Was Victor villain? Or victim of his vaulted cage? Lily says justice. Messy, but ours. I say grace. Unearned. America argues the rest, over brunch mimosas or dive bar beers. And in the debate, we live, scarred. Swap no more, but forever changed.